A little while back, I was guiding a short walk for a really small group, and one of our participants, we'll call her Maria. Well, she rolled up in her power chair. She looked excited, but also a little bit unsure. And I could tell that she was silently asking, am I actually going to be able to do this? We hadn't even started, and already we were facing challenges. Loose gravel at the trailhead that felt like marbles under her wheels, and a narrow gate that looked like it belonged more to a bike rack. And there was absolutely no information on the sign about how steep the trail was or how the surface would look like further on down the trail. Well, we made it work, slowly, but it took a lot of effort, and honestly, it shouldn't have been that way. That day stuck with me because enjoying the outdoors shouldn't require extra planning, detective work, or sheer determination just to get started. Here's the thing. When trails are designed to be accessible, everyone benefits. Adults with disabilities get the same shot at enjoying fresh air, trees, and birdsong. Families pushing strollers don't have to fight uneven paths. Older adults can walk more confidently, knowing that there are rest stops. Even hikers nursing an injury get to keep moving without worrying about tricky terrain. Accessibility isn't a nice to have. It's the difference between a warm welcome and an invisible, you're not even invited. I know, standards sounds really dry, but stick with me here, because they're actually super practical. They're like a recipe for making the trail work for the widest range of people possible. So here are the biggies boiled down for you. First, we want to make sure that our trails are wide enough, that these paths are wide enough so people can pass each other without awkward shuffles and with spots to pull over if it narrows. We also want to include gentle slopes so that you're not facing that sudden calf-burning hill halfway through your trail. We want solid, stable surfaces. Think compacted gravel, boardwalk, or pavement, not loose sand or sharp rocks. We also want to look for signs that actually tell you what to expect before you set off on the trail. These aren't just nice extras. They're what turns a maybe into a confident yes. What's the most frustrating barrier that you've run into in a trail, a green space, or a park? Was it loose gravel, steep hills, narrow gates? Drop it in the comments so we together can build a fix-it list. Have you ever walked up to a trailhead, stared at the sign, and thought, okay, but what does this mean for me? Good signs save people time and energy by telling you exactly what you're in for before you start walking. I like to see things like how long the trail is, what the surface is like. Is it smooth? Is it gravel? Is it boardwalk, etc.? I'd like to know how wide it is, at least most of the time, and how narrow it is at its skinniest points. And of course, I like to know how steep it gets, both generally and at its worst. What is typical versus maximum? That part is huge. It is the difference between maybe I'll try it and a confidence, yes, this will work for me. You know those narrow gates or bollards at the front of some trailheads? Well, they're designed to keep vehicles out. But if they also happen to stop wheelchairs or scooters, well, that is not a win for accessibility. A good entrance has enough room to get through easily and space to maneuver without feeling like you're trying to thread a needle. Nobody wants to power through a trail like it's a timed race. Rest spots, ideally in the shade with a bench or enough space for a mobility device to turn around, make a huge difference. These are especially helpful after any kind of uphill stretch. And while we're talking about comfort and safety, we have to make sure that bridges or boardwalks shouldn't have big gaps that can catch canes or wheels. Obstacles should be low enough to roll over without much drama. Signs along the way should be clear, high contrasting, and repeat information so that there's no surprises mid-hike. Accessibility doesn't stop when the path does. Picnic spots, lookouts, parking areas, they all need easily accessible routes connecting them to the trail. And at least some of the tables, benches, and other features should be designed so that everyone can use them comfortably. If you could change one thing at your favorite trail or park tomorrow, what would it be? Would it be ramps, a smoother surface, bigger signs? Tell me all about it in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Here are some tips from the field. Start small. Fix the first stretch of trail so that it's welcoming. It's a solid surface. It's wide. It has that wide enough entrance and it has a clear sign. Keep maintenance in mind so that improvements last. Try upgrading one short loop as like a model loop before tackling the whole park. And most importantly, involve the people who will benefit from these changes. Wheelchair users, blind hikers, folks with stamina limits, right from the start. We all deserve to feel welcome in nature. And the great news? The know-how is already out there. We just have to put it into action. Now, if you're ready to see more trails open up to everyone, I welcome you to join the Rewild community. It's where we swap ideas, we share wins, we work together to make more green spaces more inclusive. Bring a photo of your local trailhead sign and we'll help you figure out how to make it that little bit better. And while you're at it, check out the Accessible Trails Guide we've linked down below. It has all of our resources that we talked about in today's video and a whole lot more. Can't wait to see ya.